Pete Morgan at breakfast
on BBC WM
95.6.
There's a report out this morning looking at the high-speed rail plans between London and Birmingham, and it says that there is a £3 billion funding gap. It's the National Audit Office who've released this report. They want more clarity over how HS2 will help benefit the Midlands' economic growth. The government are saying, listen, this is all based on old information. Things have really improved in the past 12 months. Let's get more from BBC WM's Michelle Dawes, who's on the planned high-speed rail route now. Michelle, what does the report say?
Well, the main worry for the National Audit Office in this report is this estimated £3.3 billion funding gap. There's no plan as to where this extra money is going to come from. The government hasn't decided how it's going to fill this. And the NAO says it's not clear how the scheme will therefore deliver and rebalance the economic growth. It's also worried about the business case for HS2 as a whole, saying that basically the planned schedule for phase one, which should begin in 2016-17, is very challenging, and says delivering the work will be made difficult and increases the risk that the programme will have a weak foundation for basically securing and demonstrating success in the future. So the main problem is, where's the extra money coming from, and also is this work going to be done on timetable, and if it's rushed through, will the foundations be workable and will they be successful?
OK, Michelle, thanks very much. BBC WM's Michelle Dawes. We'll be speaking to her again a little bit later on. Let's talk to Richard Houghton from the HS2 Action Alliance. He's on the phone now. Good morning, Richard.
Good morning, Pete.
If the information is out of date, as the government says, then this report's not very reliable, is it? I think
the government's being slightly disingenuous on this. They're behaving a little bit like a stroppy teenager who doesn't want to listen to the truth. The information about the wider economic benefits or the jobs is as it was. There's no proof, or little proof at the moment, that this £36 billion train will generate more jobs.
£3 billion isn't that much in the grand scheme of things, when, as again, we are being told this is what it's expected to bring half of that amount to the economy in the West Midlands each year?
Yeah, I think it depends if you believe the calculations they've used to demonstrate how much it's going to generate in terms of for the economy, because this report does attack the fundamentals of the business case. So, they're using 10-year-old information to increase the value of business travel. They're not assuming that anybody will have to pay a premium for a fare, so that you'll get it the same price as an ordinary train. These sort of things it just doesn't stack up, I'm afraid.
And the other thing that the government have said is listen, if economic modelling was used all the time, we probably and indeed adhered to as strictly as the National Audit Office are talking about this morning, the M1, parts of the M25 just wouldn't have been built. Is it not the case that we just have to look a little bit more at the long-term future benefits? Yeah,
well, as my old boss said, hope isn't a management tool, Pete, and I think what we need to do is look at the alternatives. There's one that's been put in place, fully costed, cleared by Network Rail, which would bring a lot more capacity much quicker at a third of the cost, and has got a much better return on investment. So we're not against investing. We're just pro-investing in the right way.
OK. We are going to be speaking to the Minister just after 8 o'clock this morning. What would you like to hear from him?
Well, I know what he's going to tell you. He's going to say it's old data and we don't accept the core findings of the NOA. What I'd like to hear from him is that he takes his responsibility as a minister and as a department seriously, and before they plough on and spend £36 billion of taxpayers' money, they look at the detail properly. And as I said, they look at the alternatives properly, because frankly, HS2 is the wrong choice.